What I enjoy most about working at Texas Tech Physicians is the camaraderie. It's the collegiality that we experience every day.
I love the working environment, the fact that everyone has a very teamwork mentality that makes work very enjoyable.
So the one thing that I really appreciate about the Texas Tech Physicians is their motto is that we're more than doctors, we are experts. And they truly live by that, and it is felt amongst the institution at different levels.
And there's tremendous alignment between the hospitals that we partner with and the physician practice that really makes it much easier to practice the sort of medicine that we all want to.
I get to work with medical students, I get to work with resident physicians, I get to work with fellow colleagues that are partners and also other departments.
Some of the opportunities I have by working at TTP is the fact that I have all disciplines available for my patients.
I know that I have willing physicians from every department that I can speed dial and call and just talk to them and provide guidance for me.
We're actually able to get a lot of different subspecialties under this one roof, and that has been very important in collaboration, career growth, and outreach at a national and international level.
I always have a colleague to call on. There's always somebody who is willing to help, makes you feel confident in being able to offer good care to everyone.
Working as an academic physician keeps me in the forefront of all the recent medical knowledge. My residents, students I work with really keep me on my toes.
You have just such a wonderful opportunity to work with a really great population of medical students and residents who are really interested in growing professionally.
They have introduced me to what good, efficient, and productive academics is, and that experience has really become part of me, and I look forward to incorporating that in my career.
Texas Tech Physicians, from the dean's office all the way down, there is just a huge emphasis on work-life integration and finding balance.
All the support I get from my partners, my faculty, my staff, and I know that my patients are always looked after and taken care of even when I'm not in clinic.
I'm able to clock out every day, knowing that I have a willing team that's going to take care of my patients when I'm not on call.
On top of that, there is just a convenience of living in Lubbock that makes things so easy.
Coming down here to West Texas and having that welcoming and the appreciation from your patients is by and far the most rewarding.
And the community is full of lovely people who want to help, who want to be your friend, and want to be kind to you.
For anyone considering moving to Lubbock to work for TTP, I would say that's an excellent career move. TTP offers fabulous work-life balance, fabulous benefits, and you'll feel very supported in your career.
We are here as an institution not only to support your dreams as a physician, but more importantly, to be able to make sure you're able to progress in your career to achieve whatever goal that you might have in the future.
I would welcome anybody to come to Lubbock and not love it once they got here.